Just a few months ago, this checkpoint was manned by a guerrilla group, but now it's in the hands of the Indigenous Guard, who patrol this strategic bend in the road leading to the town of Toribio.
When a car arrives, we ask it to roll down the windows, we check who it is, and we open the door.
The Indigenous Guard of Cauca ensures the safety of the Nasa people. They are volunteers of all ages, with orders to confiscate weapons found in vehicles.
How long have we been here? Since the armed group murdered one of our elders, Carmelina.
On the 16th of March, guerrillas shot at a crowd of Nasa people trying to get back one of their young men who had been recruited. An Indigenous Guard was killed, sparking anger. They decided to regain control of the territory and push the rebels back through their sheer numbers and determination.
Check that car.
The guards recognize two guerrilla members. They are ordered to comply or risk being captured. There are no weapons in the trunk, so they are free to go.
Since the signing of the peace deal, Toribio has never known peace. Perhaps the FARC have laid down their arms in other parts of the country, but here in Toribio, the war never stopped.
After a peace deal was signed in 2016, FARC dissident groups emerged across Colombia, escalating the war. Around Toribio, the armed groups vie for control of the Cauca Mountains, all while fighting the army and police.
We always have to be on the defensive. It's a war zone.
The police station has been the target of guerrilla attacks for 2 decades. The aggression resumed in March following the breakdown of a ceasefire between Gustavo Petro's government and the dissident groups operating in Toribio. The Nasa are opposed to the presence of all armed actors on their territory, including the police. In Toribio and the rest of the region, they have their own traditional authorities. Like most elected representatives, Ana Rubiela stands up to the guerrillas under a constant threat of reprisals.
The fact that we've regained control of the territory has reduced the violence and prevented crime. But there are still a lot of murders in the area.
From an early age, Nasa children can become Kiwitengas, which means guardians of Mother Earth in the Nasa language.
Don't forget to wash your plates. At any age, as soon as they can walk on their own, they can join the Indigenous Guard school. From childhood, they are taught to love our resistance movement.
Throughout the region, children learn to carry the Nasa's ancestral weapon, a symbolic stick of authority, carried since the arrival of the Spanish colonists.
For us, this stick is sacred. We have been defending ourselves with it for over 500 years. And we teach our young people that with this stick, we can go anywhere we want to protect our lives.
The training of the young Indigenous Guard is also physical.
The Indigenous Guards must be able to climb mountains at any time as soon as something happens, and to be able to fight our enemies too.
Flavia Largo is one of the main organizers of the Indigenous Guard of Northern Cauca.
This conflict has changed. For us, it's much more dangerous because we don't know who's who.
These bright green patches on the mountains are coca fields. Grown throughout the region, the raw material for cocaine attracts all armed groups.
They make a living from drug trafficking, but also extortion and mining.
As night falls, the Indigenous Guards step up their surveillance. Around 60 checkpoints are active every night in the region.
Most of the control points operate at night because the most frequent acts of disharmony take place at night.
For the Nasa people, disharmony means violence and anything that upsets the stability of the community. But their biggest fight is for the young people. In recent years, FARC dissidents have recruited hundreds of Nasa with promises of money, motorbikes, and mobile phones.
Hello, everyone. Companions, thank you for your participation. A salute of resistance and harmony to all.
On the peaks of the Andes, the Indigenous Guards organize football tournaments to encourage young people to join their ranks rather than guerrilla groups.
We mothers don't bring up children to go off to war. It's very important for us to fight so that our children stay with us, to defend life and this land that belongs to us.
In northern Cauca, the Nasa and their 3,000 Indigenous Guards continue their fight in the face of increasing violence.